Are
Like,
they real, the numbers? Like, do you actually trust these numbers in a way that you're like betting everything on them?
no.
Okay,
Anyways,
90s versus now.
the
Yeah, well,
90.
you can't compare like so we in real estate we have
No.
historical trends to compare to, where as like things like Bitcoin you don't, right? Well,
Yeah.
if you want to compare it to tulip mania or something, right? But and that's where I look at like my forecast and my attitude is solely based on cycles, and that's where I get my numbers and I get where my outlook from. So I think that if everybody truly believes that we can go through a recession and have higher unemployment, which we're trending that way, having increased mortgage arrears and all the rest of this, and house prices will never drop. I think they're like kidding themselves. Like it's going to happen. It's just how much, right? How much will they go down? And then you look, well, look at all the immigrants. Okay, that was 2 years or whatever of this excessive immigration. 2020 and had like next to none in comparison to like historical trends. And then again, you can look back, and I've gone back to like 1955, and we have like a surplus of like 2 million homes, and not even counting. So we're gonna have a lot more homeless people now. They don't need homes, right? But there's not that many. It's like
Well,
35,000
that's what we're
homeless
doing. We're
people.
short on homes, so we're just putting
Yeah,
people in tents and putting them outside,
Yeah,
so
leave
that
the
way they don't
homes
need them.
empty. Yeah.
but if you look at the increase in population, like this is based on 2.5 people per household. Okay, how many people now live like that was updated in 2021, I think. How many people, you think it's still 2.5? You think it went down? You think it's only like 2.3 people per household now in Canada? Like it's went up, right? And look at all,
I don't know. What
Anecdotally, it
about
went up.
condos? It's all like
But I think
one or
it's
two
hard to
people.
track. Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, it's anecdotally, it definitely has gone up where people are looking to, live with more people in the last 10 years. But I go back to the 50s where, my dad and eight of his brothers and
Yeah.
renting out the living room and all that kind of stuff are all in one house too. And I think that there's also a lot of boomers now taking up houses that are underutilized
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings down the average a lot too. And they own a ton of real estate. And the
yeah.
bottom line is they control the market. They right now, I mean, they own a significant amount of real estate. A significant amount of it is mortgage free all over Canada. And so interest rates don't affect them as much as far as like having to sell. And so it's
Mhm.
really just a matter of how old are they,
Those are
right?
my favorite deals. The boomers or the estate sales or the retirement homes, because
Yeah.
it's like they're always in the best neighborhoods.
Yep.
No millennials want them because they don't look like IKEA inside, but everything is new usually, like the roof, they maintain them, and you
Yeah.
get them for like under market value. So I always tell people like get the estate sale or the power of attorney or whatever, right? It's
Yeah.
those are the best ones. But then you have so so those numbers of 3 million people, I just looked them up yesterday. 3 million people from 2022 to 2024. So 3 years, million people a
Holy.
year. But half of them are students. So
Yeah.
okay, so you think the students are at obviously they're not at 2.5, they're like 8 to 10 people per household.
17 in
Hmm.
Brampton.
Yeah, and then you have all these newly created basement apartments that they don't track. Like
Off
that's
the
not
books.
considered a
Yeah.
housing completion, right? So you
Yeah.
have and I've estimated those at like in the last 10 years probably a million. Like it's 800,000 for sure. Like so you have
800 to a million illegal
Illegal.
extra suites
suites that are unaccounted for
unaccounted
on the
for. Wow.
numbers, right? Because and they're understandably right. They're not accounted. Even if they were registered with the city, they don't get counted as a completion. You'd have to build it or something like that. It doesn't
Right.
get counted as a completion, even if it's legit and legally registered with the city. So you have like a million extra units. So there's all these things that people actually don't look at, and like so you have 1.5 million students or something ridiculous that came, and how many have left already. So there's a lot of looking into the numbers, and our government like they don't update the numbers quick enough.
Are
Like
they
if
real, the numbers? Like, do you actually trust these numbers in a way that you're like betting everything on them?
No, because as the governments change hands from conservative to liberal or whatever, right? You get these things that they change the way they report it. So if you look back at median or average household income for the last 20 years, you can't find it because it's one's section of data is median before tax, one's after tax. There's no set data.
Consistency. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like so like when I try to compare that stuff, it's so annoying, and it's the government should be tracking it. Like in the States they have the Fred, right? And that data is amazing. They actually have Canadian data on there that's better than we keep. So
For
and
sure.
I think the government like they do it on purpose, or they're just negligent, or
they do it on
heads in their-
purpose
Yeah.
to like help with the narrative. I really
It's
think that most of those
incompetence.
stats,
They're not. We give too much credit to the
No
government. Like they've got some sort of agenda over the 30. They're all cooperating with each other over 30, 40 years. Not a chance. They're
they're
just
just
incompetent.
incompetent. Yeah, that's it.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.